Hey guys, Buildzoid here, and I have only one take for this because I'm completely out of thermal paste until my new delivery comes sometime soon, I hope. So, yeah, this is gonna go badly. Anyway, it's also an experiment. So, this is going to be a test of if I can fit these two LN2 pots, this being the Raptor 4 and this being the Kingpin Tech 9 Fat, onto my HD7990. So, yeah, this is a 7990. I bought it secondhand. The stock cooling, like the stock fans that came with it, one of them developed some kind of bearing issue and rattled really badly. So I replaced the stock fans with these Cooler Master air pressure fans, which, like, the card bench is pretty good. I mean, I had it all the way up to 1200 megahertz core clock for some benchmarks, and that's just with air cooling. Now, a lot of people were telling me, like, dude, you need to put the card on freaking water if you really want to max it out. And at that point, I'm kind of like, well, a water block for HD7990 is pretty expensive. And I do have LN2 and LN2 pots. So, quite frankly, I'm going to go, we're going to skip that intermission phase of water and just run it on LN2. And I just want to check out if it's actually possible right now. So we're not going to go like through a full prep. I'm just going to check if we can even fit these onto the card because there are two cores. And distance-wise, it should be fine. But I'm not sure how it'll deal, like how it'll work out with VRM cooling and yeah. It'll probably be kind of interesting. So I'm going to put these out of the way and we can start working on the disassembling the card. So let's flip it over. Well, actually, before we flip it over, the fans are held on with zip ties, and this the heatsink is a two-piece, so we need to cut that one apart there, because yeah. So I'll just leave it like that. But the thing is, I need to be able to pull apart the heatsinks. So that's fine. Get the screwdriver. And the core heat sinks on this come off before the base plate, so we're going to pull those off first. As you can see, I've already done some modifications on the card. These here are like, well, basically I know this card has a ton of voltage drop. Okay, I don't mean V-droop, voltage drop. If you measure the core voltage at the actual VRM output, you measure like, say, 1.3 volts. If you measure the core voltage behind the actual GPU core, you'll measure something 75 or even 100 millivolts lower, which basically tells you, and it makes sense that that's actually the case, that the power plane going through this card is really, really not thick enough to transfer as much current as two, Tahiti dies require. Which isn't really surprising because this is a dual core card, so there's not exactly a ton of space for, well, power planes on the card because they need to accommodate a PLX chip and all of the memory traces as well. So I'm not super surprised that it has so much voltage drop. It's just kind of annoying. And this right here was my idea to try minimize it, but it didn't really work out. Well, it did lower the amount of voltage drop. Like the difference went from something like 75 millivolts to like 60-ish. But the overall voltage at the actual cores stayed the same because the voltage controllers have forward voltage sense. So all that happened was the output of the VRM went down. So it was like a very mild increase in VRM efficiency, and that's about it. And there we go. What thermal paste is that? Oh, that's Arctic. Yeah, that looks like MX4. Well, whatever. So there's the front of the card. I kind of want to keep the plate, the cooling plate here, because it cools the VRM down, and the VRM is just it's a tiny little four-phase thing. So if we put this on liquid nitrogen, I'm kind of concerned about the health of the VRM on this. So I guess the biggest issue to clear is going to be this right here. You can see this brace right above the 8 pins. We can't clear that, that's going to be a problem. And then the actual VRM heatsink itself might conflict with the Tech 9, which will be over here. So let's start test fitting. We move these out of the way. I mean, ultimately, I'm just going to take parts off until it does fit. So let's start with the Raptor. There we go. And this should go fine. Let's see. Oh yeah. Actually, no. Wait. That is really, really close. Wait a minute. Because you can see, like, the thermal paste actually hit the like, base, what's it called? Base extension on the Raptor. There, lost the words for a bit. But, at the same time, that there, the actual brace is touching the LN2 pot. So I'm gonna take that as a that's not making good contact situation. Because I imagine the pressure's not gonna be great. Yeah, that just doesn't, yeah, that's, no. We're not doing that. So, base plate coming off. Let's pull that off next. So the card used to have a backplate, so I'm using a whole bunch of M4? I think M4 nuts to basically act as spacers. Because they're a little bit larger than the actual, like, they're larger than the thread on the screws, so I just fall right off. Last one. At this point, actually, no, because, yeah, that's one thing to keep track of with a lot of the base plates. They'll have a brace, well, they'll connect to the I/O shields to basically prevent the card from, you know, sagging. So, yeah, we just need to remove those, and then it'll finally come apart. Come on. I don't think we'll need to actually take off the I/O plate. I think that'll clear just fine. Try figure out something out to get the VRM heatsink though. Like from the car out of the base plate, because I'd really prefer. Oh man, what did I do? I'm forgetting something? Nah, it's just thermal pads. Yeah, that's just really sticky thermal pads. Come on. Let go. Oops. Up. There we go. Yeah. Well, you can't say the thermal pads didn't have good contact, did they? Okay, well, that one's getting torn to shreds. I'd rather not replace all of these, so... Because I've run out of thermal pads as well, again. So, stay. This one... That one's fine, this one stuck to the card. Yeah, okay. Go. That's all of them. That PLX chip one got really shredded, but that should be fine when I reassemble it. Actually, I wonder if I'll need to cool the PLX chip somehow. Probably not. Okay, well, let's get this out of the way now. And grab the LN2 pot. And... where is that? There we go. Yeah, okay, that's gonna fit. That's good. Perfect. Oh, that actually stuck. Yeah, okay, that's making good contact. Let's get the tech and see if the true is the same for the The same is true for the other core. That out of the way. The thing is, installing both of these, like, I'm actually going to fully mount them, because I need to figure out some way to, like, not warp the card doing that. Oh, and that clears just fine as well. So, yeah. For anyone wondering, you can, in fact, run an HD7990 on LN2. Oh, man, this is going to be awesome. I don't think anybody's done that. I've seen people run, I think, like 4870 X2s and 5970s on liquid nitrogen. But as far as I'm aware, nobody's ever done a 7990, so I'll be the first with that one. Somebody has done a GTX 590, though. So that would be... Actually, Tin from EVGA did a GTX 590 with an E-Power and everything. It's really, really cool. That's actually why I have a GTX 590. I want to do the same thing, except I probably won't be using LN2 on it. I'll just use water cooling. Now then, I need something to get these level. Well, okay, the card's not gonna break itself under its own weight, that's for sure. So I'll do the Raptor first, and actually I'll put a bit more thermal paste on there because I don't want to, don't want to damage the cores at all. So let me just go get that. Okay, so we got more thermal paste. I'm just gonna put a great big blob. Oh, actually, this might have been MX2. Whatever. I'll have to clean it all off anyway. There. Okay, so let's get that side on first. You know what, I might actually not run this on liquid nitrogen, but dry ice, because, I'm not sure I'd be actually able to handle the, like, temperature control on 2 GPU cores at the same time. Because, yeah, if this one has a cold bug at, like, minus 110, and this one's at minus 120 or something, that's just... Or also 110, well, I'll still have to pour, like, keep track of 2 cores at the same time, and that's just not gonna go well. So we might have to, so I might end up just running it on dry ice. Because then I don't have to worry about temperature control, because dry ice doesn't get that cold. Go. Okay, so now, oops, I need to figure out some way to raise this up and align it. There, okay, well that's aligned right now, but now I need to get that height somehow. Which is how much, actually? Damn, that's like 2 centimeters. Let's see. Might actually be a... Yeah, it's a tad too tall. Damn it. Ooh. Motherboard manuals! That's what we'll use. Because they're conveniently sized, so let's get that... Okay, wait, this is actually really awkward to work with now. If you had 2 Raptor 4s, this would be really easy, but for that they'd have to be in stock, which they aren't. Come on. Come on. You can do this. I believe in me. There we go. Damn. Okay, well, that's still not tall enough, though, so we'll have to... But at least I have the alignment now, so... Oh, damn, this is so dodgy. Okay, I think, like, one more motherboard manual and that'll be fine. This should be about right thickness. Oh, man. Let's see. Up. Yeah, actually, that's just about right. This is so dodgy. Oh man, when you install this into a system, it's gonna be like... This is gonna actually come off the edge of the motherboard. Now that I think about it. Like, this pot will be hanging so far... Oh my god, that's gonna be a disaster. It's not gonna stop me, though. Don't worry about that. It's not gonna stop me. It's just really, really questionable as to what I'm doing right now. Oh. Well, yeah. Evidently this can be done. Is probably a terrible idea. Actually, not probably. It's definitely a terrible idea. But, yeah, I really wanted to try this. So, this is perfect. In the sense that, like, let's see, I just need to figure out how to tighten those down all the way. Okay, well, that's not gonna work. I don't really want to use pliers to do it, but, that looks like the only option. Speaking of the only option, I seem to have put it somewhere and can't... Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, I can find them. Very gently to not scratch the PCB, because then, you know, you scratch a memory trace all the way through, and that's a dead card. So, yeah. I think you could actually fit the VRM heatsink in between that. That is so, like, how do you move this? Like, do you, like... Oh my god, that is terrible. Because each of these is, like, over 2 kilograms. So, moving this around is just... You can't really mount it in the system, though. Like, you couldn't really do it right on the motherboard already, so... Oh man, why do I have these ideas? This is terrible. This is a legitimately terrible idea. This is probably the stupidest thing I've done. Actually, no. Yeah, but getting the tightness on these proper is it's not fun. Actually, that's too big. Gotta get needle nose. Come on. There. Well. Kind of. Now I really wish the Tech 9 came with thumb screws, but let's see. The thing is, I can really easily over-tighten this with how much leverage I have on, you know, on pliers, so... Let's see, I'm just gonna take a look at it. Wait a minute. Wait, this is... Wait, okay, wait, I've just realized something. This is a 7990, right? And, like, the problem with the 7990s... Well, no, not 7990s. The problem is this uses the Tahiti core. And the Tahiti chips, the package they come in, has a raised, the metal thing around the die is actually taller than the die itself, so I'll have to remove that. But it looks like at least, well, we'll see how the thermal paste spread looks like underneath. If it doesn't seem to be squeezing out properly, then yeah, I need to do something about the protector plate for the substrate. But it might actually be fine, because I didn't notice any, like, the thermal, like, you know, when I was trying on one of the pots at a time, it didn't look like there was any issues. So, yeah, this is interesting. Well, not particularly interesting, but I'm interested. Okay, well, I need to undo those, which is fun. I need to get, like, I'm pretty sure I have the right size socket thing for those, so I won't have to do this every time. Just right now I can't be bothered to try find it. Yeah, okay, well, I didn't tighten those down very much. That's nice. Oh. That one off. Okay, that one's still tight. Come on, there we go. Okay, that one's coming off now. This one. Yeah, okay. Oops. Let's see. There we go. That actually looks like they made contact. I'm just gonna grab a... There we go. Grab a blade and check what the cores look like. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. So, I'm just checking with you know, box cutter blade. But these actually, the shim, like, well, this metal protector here is actually shorter than the die, which on a regular 7970 isn't the case. Like, this wouldn't, like, yeah, I would have expected this to not work out. Yeah. Yeah, these actually, like, they're fine. The clearance is fine for both of the cores. So, yeah, I just need to figure out something to make sure that the VRMs don't blow up when this is on liquid nitrogen, and then we can go to town on this. Damn! Awesome! I'm just gonna quickly check that. Yeah, okay. And then... Yep. Yeah, it looks perfectly good. Well, there you have it. 7990s are surprisingly easy to at least install LN2 pots on. I'm not sure about how you would go about moving the damn thing once it, like, moving the assembly once it's done. But yeah, it's definitely possible. So this might be on a stream in the near future. Because, yeah, I really want to do that. It's just run a 7990 on liquid nitrogen. Well, I need to clean all of this up now. So, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to support what I do here with actually hardcore overclocking, I have a Patreon, there's a PayPal, and there's also shirts. I actually released a new shirt design before Christmas. So, you know, you can go check those out. You can find a link to all of that down in the description below, and it is one link, and then it has all the links to the other things. It's easier for me to manage on YouTube if there's any changes or that kind of thing. So yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Also, sorry about any me evidently clipping the mic, because yeah, I forgot how the audio, like, stuff changed with the audio setup, and so I think yeah, occasional, like, I have seen it clip a few times, but as I said, I don't have enough thermal paste to do this all over again. So sorry guys. And see you next time.